Here's another one. Look at Genesis 31. This is Jacob fleeing from Laban. In Genesis 31, in verse 36, affliction was the lost wages, the broken promises that Jacob experienced. And this is what it says. And Jacob was angry and rebuked Laban, and Jacob answered and said, "What is my trespass, and what is my sin that you so hotly pursued me?" And he goes on and on. You can read about this. And basically says in verse 41, "I've been in your house 20 years, I served you 14 years, and you have changed my wages 10 times. And then look at verse 42. And here's the usage of the word. "Unless the God of my father, the God of Abraham, the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed." But look at this. "God has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and God rebuked you last night." What is affliction defined here? It's defined as the lost wages and the broken promises Jacob got from his employer. Now, if anything is relevant in America, how many broken promises have workers experienced from their companies? Broken promises, lost wages. Just the whole idea of you signed on and gave the best years to your company, and then to save money, they downsize and cut you off. And don't retain you to retirement. And I think about that affliction that many are experiencing in America. And you know what God says? I know about your lost wages and their broken promises, and I want to make my perfect plan in your life through that affliction. So your job situation is part of the afflictions God uses. Look at Genesis 41. Here's another one. Here's a fourth time affliction shows up in the Bible. I mean, aren't these relevant and timely? I mean, they just are right where we are. Affliction is the hatred and jealousy and betrayal Joseph experienced from his family and his employers, as well as neglected and broken promises from his friends. And that summarizes the whole life of Joseph. And this is what he says in 41 of Genesis, verse 52. "And the name of the second, that's Joseph, called Ephraim. For God has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction." Joseph experienced the betrayal of his brothers, the doting of his father and out-of-touchness of his father, the pain of being sold, almost killed by his brothers, and then sold into slavery. He works hard as a slave. He flees from sin, gets imprisoned for it. In prison, he serves faithfully and even helps some of the prisoners, and they forget about him. And for all those things, God calls that, and Psalm 105 describes it as the Word of God trying him. It's affliction. But look what it says in verse 52. "God caused me to be fruitful as I went through that affliction." Do you know, if you're going through hatred or jealousy of others, betrayal by others, neglect and broken promises by those near you or your family, God says, I am aware of that, and I'm not going to take that out of your life. I'm going to take you through that furnace of affliction, and in that furnace of affliction, I'm going to make you fruitful. I'm going to make you be able to serve me better. I'm going to burn off the cords that tie you from serving me. I'm going to make you walk closer with me. I'm going to burn off the bindings like the Hebrew children. I'm going to take you through the furnace of affliction. With your family, with your job, with your work, with your employer, whatever. Here's another one. Look at Exodus 3:7, and we can't go into all these, certainly not, because I want to get back to Psalm 119. But what a study. I mean, you can do this. All I'm doing is reading the Bible. You can read the Bible. Look up affliction and read all of them like I did. I read all 37, and these are the best.